Hello, beloveds. It's Pris, and I had another word I got on the 21st from the Lord, and I thought it'd be a good time to share it because there's a lot of trepidation now about retaliation for taking out the Iranian uranium. Did I say Iranian or did I say uranium? The Iranian uranium. Yeah, that's what they did, allegedly. It is unable now. They're not unable, according to the vice president, to build a nuclear weapon. I don't know about that. I'm not too knowledgeable about that stuff, but I do know from watching the lady, I think I posted her video on the last one I did, where she's talking about the plan to disconnect us from the Western elites. And so I think all of this is part of what's going on because they love to make wars. And so Trump is trying to stop that. And we'll see what happens. Nevertheless, God doesn't want us to be afraid or terrorized by everything that's going on, as I can witness by what he said to me. This was, okay, what's today? Today is what, 22nd, 23rd? He said, molten lava is going to flow from unexpected places as a sign of hell stirring up its forces. And the other thing that came to mind is hell enlarging itself. It talks about that in the Bible because of the increase in sin. And the earth groaning for the Manchild company to arise. Those he's going to pour out his spirit in. I will meet its expectation and yours with ripples of my love poured out in measures of grace that you will be surprised by. Distinguished people who would seem the most likely to not be affected will bow to my glory. Even media moguls who consider it nonsense, quote unquote, will change their tune. Some, however, will still scoff and be belligerent due to the demonic infestation in them. But those with great authority will be able to deliver some of them. There will be many Sauls of Tarsus in this hour, much to your surprise, as well as who will acknowledge my might. But know that the reprobate hearts will fall down and not get up again. And that's just a confirmation of the spirit of death coming upon the wicked. The stage is set, he said, and times of shaking have come. Every knee will bow and every tongue confess that Jesus is Lord. The knowledge of the glory of the Lord will fill the earth, and Daniel's prophecies will be fulfilled. Now, the thing about Saul of Tarsus thing, the pastor in Ohio, Sheets, I can't think of his first name, Dutch Sheets' brother, the pastor said something about that in his Sunday message. So that was a confirmation. And there's something else that has been happening. That's the end of the word, but there's something else that I've noticed on X that people are posting, but they aren't from X. They're like videos that people are posting from TikTok. And one of them today that was striking was a man manifesting a demon on a bus. I don't know where this was. It could have been New York, Chicago, anywhere. And he was wiggling on the ground like a snake. His body, shaking around. And then he stood up and growled at the people with his hands out, and then went back down like a snake again. And the Doge News guy, whoever that is, had said, "What is this?" And I responded saying, "That is a demon manifesting." And I saw much of that in India because they worship snakes there. So people who do that, when they manifest, they'll wiggle like a snake on the ground because the snake is inhabiting them, the spirit. And I thought, oh man, people are not prepared for this, even in the church, because a lot of the church doesn't cast out demons. They're going to be really in shock at what they see, because there's going to be a lot more of this. And we've seen some of it in the reactions of the those that have been brainwashed and mind controlled, freaking out because of Trump, and they've manifested their fear, their anger and bitterness, and all that stuff is coming out, So it's really going to be a difficult time, I think, for some even within the church to deal with this stuff when they don't know how, And those of us who do know how and do know how to confront those things are going to be called upon. I have 2 words that I had called the deliverers, and I'm sure they are on this channel somewhere in my videos, but I'll try and repost that again. And also maybe we'll do some more stuff on deliverance, and hopefully I can sort that out with the Lord as to what he wants. Okay. And talk a little bit about some of my experiences in other places too, besides here. God bless you guys, and no fear, because, the Lord said in one of the words that when it seems like everything is impossible to turn around, that's when he's going to show up. And that's what he's basically just said, that he's going to be the center of attention in what's coming. I guess that was in the word that I got, the last couple words that I got, that was in there. And I believe that we're just on the precipice of the Holy Spirit being poured out in a magnificent way. And it may start as ripples, but it will crescendo, even as the things around us are, going crazy, and as they're trying to create mayhem and chaos. Those spirits are being loose to an extent. So, but the things that are going on now, much of it has been planned for a very long time, and by the wicked, okay, but also by those who want to oppose the wicked. They've also had plans. So don't be freaked out, but just pray before you go places. Bind the strong man over the stores, over the gas stations, when you go out in the car, make sure that you're walking in the Spirit, by the Spirit, for your daily activities, that when you have peace to go, but if you don't have peace, don't go, kind of thing. But we don't need to be afraid, in the sense that we all have angels watching over us, and the angels have been ready for this. They've been around. It was in 22, I think I was in the hospital. Yeah. And 21 and 22, he had given me a personal word before I got COVID that was an amazing word. And then in 22, after I got out of the hospital, he had given me another word besides the little Hummer that showed up with a nest in my bougainvillea. And saying that the angels were increasing around us, that they're preparing, because heaven knows what the enemy's prepared. So the enemy doesn't always know what God has prepared. Hey. So we'll just continue to pray for all of our government leaders and for the changing of leaders in our states that are not going along with what God's plan is. Okay. God bless you guys. Much love. And I'm going to need pray again for rent to come through this month. My friend Lisa gave me some furniture this last week. Excuse me, it was such a blessing because I had everything in boxes in my back room. And now I have 2 cupboards. Maybe I already told you that. I'm not sure. I can't remember. And another bookshelf. So I was trying to get some of that done and some of the cleaning done the other day, so before my beloved babysitting job. So God bless you. Take care.